In a world where pain can make us push everyone away, where loss can silence even the strongest heart, sometimes the most powerful thing we can hear is this: we're not going anywhere. This is the story of Malik Thompson, a 14-year-old boy who lost everything and found something he never expected, a family who refused to let go. Welcome to The Bridge, a story of grief, grace, and the quiet courage it takes to heal. It was a cold November evening when 14-year-old Malik Thompson stood shivering on the steps of a child services building in Milwaukee, his backpack slung over one shoulder, eyes down, jaw clenched. The weight of the world pressed on his small frame, not just the winter wind, but the silence that had swallowed his life. Just 3 months earlier, Malik had lost everything. A car accident took his mother, father, and little sister in one brutal moment. 1 minute they were laughing over pizza on a Friday night. The next, gone. The grief was a storm inside him, tearing through every thought, every breath. He was placed in a group home, but he fought every rule, every kind word. He pushed everyone away, teachers, counselors, even the few relatives who tried to reach out. He stopped going to school. He stayed out late. He stole food not because he was hungry, but because he wanted to feel something. He wore anger like armor. "Nobody stays," he'd mutter. "So why should I?" Then came the Callahans. Sarah and David Callahan were a white couple in their late 30s, living in a quiet neighborhood with a big yard and a golden retriever named Sunny. They weren't rich, but their hearts were wide open. They'd tried for years to have children, but after multiple miscarriages, they decided to adopt. They weren't looking for an easy path. They were looking for a child who needed love. When Malik arrived at their doorstep, he didn't say a word. He just stood there, arms crossed, eyes scanning the house like it was a trap. Sarah knelt to his level, her voice soft. "Hi, Malik. We're so glad you're here." Malik didn't flinch. "I'm not staying." But they let him say that, over and over. The first few weeks were rough. Malik slammed doors. He skipped meals. He once threw a plate against the wall when Sarah asked him about school. David calmly cleaned it up, never raising his voice. That confused Malik more than yelling ever could. One night, Malik snuck out. He walked for hours, ending up at a basketball court near his old neighborhood. He sat on the bleachers, watching shadows dance under the flickering lights. He didn't hear David pull up in the old minivan until the door creaked open. "I thought you might be here," David said, handing him a hoodie. "It's freezing." Malik didn't take it. "Why are you even looking for me?" "Because you're my son," David said simply. Malik laughed bitterly. "I'm not your son. You don't know me." "No," David admitted, sitting beside him. "But I want to. And I'm not going anywhere." That night, something tiny cracked inside Malik. Still, change didn't come fast. He tested them, skipping school, talking back, refusing to talk about his feelings. But Sarah and David didn't waver. They showed up. Every parent-teacher conference, every counseling session. They listened, even when Malik screamed, "You'll leave too, just like everyone else." Sarah would wipe her tears and say, "We're not going anywhere, Malik. You're worth every hard day." Then, one rainy afternoon, Malik found an old photo album in the attic. It was Sarah's childhood, pictures of her with her parents, her siblings. One photo showed her at about his age, standing by a tree, smiling, but her eyes looked sad. Underneath, in neat handwriting, "Lost Mom at 14. Life wasn't the same, but love found me anyway." Malik sat on the dusty floor, rain tapping the roof, and for the first time in months, he cried. Not angry tears, not defiant tears, just grief. And beneath it, something else. Hope. The next morning, he walked into the kitchen. Sarah was making pancakes. He stood in the doorway. "I'm sorry," he said, voice cracking. Sarah turned, eyes wide. Then she smiled, warm, real, full of grace. "Come eat, sweetheart." They're your favorite. Blueberry, slowly, Malik began to change. He started going to school again. He joined the basketball team. He even started talking to the counselor, sharing memories of his mom's laugh, his dad's terrible jokes, how his little sister used to dance in her socks. One day, he brought home a drawing he made in art class, a bridge, stretching over dark water, leading to a sunrise. On the back, he wrote, "The Callahans are my bridge." At dinner, he handed it to them. David's voice broke. "We're proud of you, son." Malik looked up, tears in his eyes. "You didn't have to love me." Sarah reached across the table, took his hand. "We didn't have to. We wanted to, because love isn't about where you come from. It's about who you choose to become, and who chooses to walk beside you." Years later, at Malik's high school graduation, he stood at the podium as class speaker. The gym was full. Sarah and David sat in the front row, holding hands, eyes shining. Malik looked out at the crowd and said, "They say you can't choose your family. But sometimes family chooses you. I was broken. I was lost. But two people saw me. Not my anger, not my pain, but me. And they didn't give up." He paused, then smiled. Love isn't the absence of storms. It's someone holding your hand through them. And if you ever feel like you don't belong, remember, sometimes the family that finds you is the one that was meant to all along. The room erupted in applause. Sunny barked from the back. She'd insisted on coming. And as Malik stepped down, David pulled him into a tight hug. Sarah whispered, "We're so proud of the man you've become." Malik didn't say anything. He just held them tighter. Because sometimes the greatest miracle isn't being saved. It's being seen and loved, no matter what. Malik's journey reminds us that no one is beyond love, that every child, no matter their pain, their past, or the walls they build, deserves someone who will stay, who will show up, who will say, "I see you, and I'm not leaving," because sometimes love isn't loud, it's steady, it's patient, it's choosing to build a bridge, even when the other side feels miles away. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more heartfelt stories that inspire hope, healing, and the power of second chances. You never know who out there needs to hear. You're not alone. Until next time, keep believing in bridges.